Hello and welcome to the Drawing Animal Podcast with Wesley Bear. I'm your host, Wesley Bear, and on today's episode, we will be talking about the pebble toad. The pebble toad is a tiny toad belonging to a group of toads known as the true toads. So, the largest group of toads and where most toad species reside includes uh, groups known as genera. And there's 52 of that genera, and under that 52 groups, there are over 600 species. They are distinguished by two um, predominant features. One is preorbital glands on the back of the head that often frequently produce a toxin that can be very strong in others and very slight in others. Just kind of depends on the species, and that most species also have something called the bitters organ, Bidder um, apostrophe S organ. Uh, this organ allows males to turn into females, though it does not appear the other way around. So this again is a weird thing about changes in the nature and makeup of some animals and the need to continue to reproduce and exist in an environment where the species can continue to populate. So, um, with true toads, that is one of the mechanisms by which they can continually change and make sure the species continues. Um, Now, pebble toads are really small, and so they make a lot of predators, and it becomes even more difficult because not only they're about 1 inch long, with females being only slightly bigger, but also they do not have the mechanisms necessary to live like normal toads and frogs, meaning they are not very fast. They are actually fairly slow as they climb up very steep cliffs and cannot hop. These cliffs they inhabit are um, reside in a very small isolated section of Venezuela. There are two major cliffs. One is called Kenya, and the other is Urani, and they end in Tepe. Both end in Tepe, so it's Kenya Tepe and Urina Tepe. Um, they're both high cliffs, but there's also a lot of still jungle and bog and swamp surrounding these cliffs, so it still provides plenty of moisture as toads and frogs need, but it's still a very inhospitable environment with sometimes very little food and tons of predators, which are much bigger than you. And so, how does a pebble toad operate in a world where it is tiny, slow, and where everything wants to eat you? Well, the amazing thing about pebble toads is that they are very hardy toads due to their method of locomotion, which is to roll. They will basically curl up into a small ball and just roll away. That is their main method of locomotion if they want to get somewhere fast, especially away from a predator. So, yes, that is the pebble toad and its odd way of locomotion. This is the most amazing thing about these toads, but it really does show that animals are willing to adapt. They will do anything to survive, even kind of crazy things, because it involves high cliffs, and hopefully you don't go off a cliff which is 10,000 feet. But it's definitely the way these toads survive, and they seem pretty hardy doing it. They're not too badly off once they get away. So thank goodness for that. Um, the species, due to this isolated environment and the fact that, they're still kind of in a state where there's only so much room and places they can travel, has been listed as vulnerable, and due to just changes that might happen or occur very easily in this type of environment, um, they could any time become endangered, but thankfully that has not been the case so far. So hopefully the environment around them is well protected, that nothing becomes unstable, and they will be able to continue to roll and fly away into the air and down the cliffs happily, instead of worrying about even greater threats that may come. So there you are, the pebble toad. Please enjoy God's creation, enjoy drawing, enjoy nature, and enjoy this wonderful day. And hopefully to talk to you soon. I will providing again links to my books in the description below, and you can find out more by exploring more of the Drawing Animal podcast. And hopefully you find an animal that's worth listening to. And if you have any suggestions of your own, please feel free to suggest an animal I can draw and talk about in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Thanks so much, and have, again, a wonderful day.